he did not trust the fact that the book would come to him. In 2010, a small town in Uttar Pradesh. A man walks up to the computer, opens up a website, an online bookstore, chooses a book, wants to read it, checks out, tries to make a payment, then shuts down because he does not have a credit card, a debit card, or a net banking system. More than that, even if he had a net banking system, he did not trust the fact that the book would come to him, or the online bookstore might not end up sending him the book. Then what? 2010, that was the situation in India. The credit card penetration was less than 5%, and debit card penetration was equally low. Net banking was cumbersome, complex, and people did not completely begin to trust it. Don't think of the online payment infrastructure that is operating right now. This was 2010. And in 2007, Sachin and Binny Bansal had opened up an online bookstore in Bangalore. The business was not growing, and they could put their fingers on what it was. It was fear, it was trust, and that is exactly how India behaved at that point of time. However, they came up with 3 simple words: cash on delivery. We call it COD today. It is not that it never existed before they thought of it. However, at India's scale and the kind of fragmented logistic that still exists, and it was existing even more during that point of time in 2010, this was a very difficult proposition, not like simple sounding COD. It was difficult. However, what it could have done is it could have shifted the entire risk of the transaction to the seller, not the buyer. They did it anyway. This was difficult, especially keeping in mind you needed a last minute, last mile delivery system which included handling of cash and return system. So they trained teams. In fact, they created a complete logistic systems called ECART. People followed, they copied them within months, and the business boomed. In 2018, Flipkart was taken over by Walmart with a whopping $18 billion deal. Not heard of till that point of time. Indian markets grew. They went up to become a $70 billion industry, which is e-commerce today. Not only that, at its peak, the amount of online transactions that happened in India, or rather COD transactions that happened in India, was 60%. That is how the entire Indian e-commerce industry changed. This was a small shift, big impact, and original from Gestalt trainings. The shift, transfer the risk to the buyer. The impact, $70 billion industry. Meet you next week. Thank you so much.